Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It's Monday evening, we survived Monday at work, and this evening we are talking about prepping. Not in the big sense, in the small sense. And basically, why I'm talking about that is obviously with what's going on around the world, but also the weather events here over the weekend. And I hadn't actually thought about it, obviously, because I work in insurance contracting. A lot of what I was thinking of is, oh my goodness, there's going to be a lot of houses damaged, a lot of houses floods, etc., etc. What I hadn't thought of until I saw a report on the local news was how much food did we lose? How much food did the farmers lose with their fields being flooded, etc.? And there was one farming company, I'm presuming they've got quite a few fields, they were losing 2,000 tonnes. That's what they expected to lose because of the weekend. Now, that's things like turnips, broccoli, potatoes, etc., etc. And I was like, that's not good. And best of all in the world, it's happening in so many different places that food security is now something that I think we need to think of. And for my way of thinking, that's things like we need to start preserving what we can, whether we dehydrate, whether we make jam, make pickles, because even things that are quite cheap at the moment, like onions are always relatively cheap at the moment. So, you could make onion chutney, onion pickle, and stuff. Can you tell I've got no clue what I'm talking about? I have not properly researched this. I'm literally just having seen the news report, thought, I'm just going to go and do a video on that now. And down south, there's obviously a lot of floods and rains and storms been down there as well. So that means that part of the country's been badly affected and they grow a lot of our food. And up here has been badly affected and they grow a lot of our food. I think I really need to start planting my garden properly next year. I need to take the time and get it done properly. Because best will in the world, if the prices go up, they're probably going to go up more effectively than any wage rises that we get. It's probably going to counteract itself quite easily. So I think something to be looking at is definitely how to preserve what we can. I know somebody had left a comment the other day there about doing caramelised onions. Love caramelised onions. So doing things like that, you can keep them in jars and stuff. So yeah, anything we can do to help ourselves with food security, I think is going to be a good thought, because we all know what happened when Russia went into Ukraine and the wheat stopped and everyone was like, oh my goodness, I need flour. They were thinking about pasta. Things went up in price. Things got more difficult to get. Sunflower oil, etc., etc. So whatever's happening in the world, obviously there's the thing with Israel and the Gaza Strip just now. Is that somewhere where we get food from? Because if it is, they're obviously not going to be exporting food. I mean, there's many countries now have actually stopped exporting so much food because their harvests haven't been as good as expected. So I think gardening could be a good thing. And I think starting even now, because I don't know what you can grow outside now in Scotland. I don't think there's much, but I will investigate. But even putting herbs on your windowsill or something, I think that's a really, really good idea, because that will just give you more flavours. If you buy spring onions, put them in the little glass. In fact, I put mine in a little glass before I went on holiday and completely forgot about them. But see, they were chopped down to there, and now I've got, obviously it's dried out. But they grew, so you can chop that and you can use it in cooking. And that's just from buying spring onions. I then put some of mine out in the garden so that they grew more. So yeah, anything you can do like that, I think would be a good thing, because certainly, one farming company to lose 2,000 tonnes of food, that's a lot. And I hate to think what's been lost down south as well in this country. And obviously we are not the only country where there's storms, where there's wildfires, where there's earthquakes, and our food has been on such a global scale recently. And as I say, there's some countries have gone, we just aren't getting harvest. We're not exporting anymore. We're keeping it to feed our own. And I don't think the UK's got enough to feed their own. So we need to start growing stuff. And this is the perfect time to get fruit trees. They take a couple of years to get the fruit, but this is the perfect time to get fruit trees. It's in the autumn when they're dormant. This is when garden centres and stuff sell them. So that could be something to look at as well. See, can you tell I'm thinking on my feet here? But yeah, for the £20 budget week, I have not particularly eaten today. Like, I had 2 chocolate digestives first thing this morning because I had no bread for toast, and I haven't eaten anything else. So I'm going to go and find something to eat, because obviously that's not a good thing to do. But I did make lentil soup yesterday because I had the makings of that from the previous week's money. So I'll probably have a bowl of soup. But I just thought I would come here and say I think it is really, really important that we look at our food security for ourselves and our families. So yeah, that's me for today. Catch you later.